Well, what's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get a little spicy. So this will be our first spicy corner for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and we got a lot of things to get into because the girls have been talking. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, y'all. So first up, we gonna get into the Lisa of it all. Even though she was not on the premiere episode, the girls did not stop mentioning her, girl. Lisa was there with us in spirit. All right. But I want to get into this interview that Lisa did with Chicks in the Office. So this was posted by Hello Drama, and it says this: Lisa Barlow calls this season of RHOSLC weird. She explains she skipped the cash trip to find more balance in her life, but says some of the women used her absence as a chance to air their issues with her. She goes on to say, on the bright side, Lisa shares it was refreshing to see Heather, Meredith, and Whitney defend her, something she admits doesn't usually happen. Okay, so let me play that clip for you guys.
Trailer was so good. Once you live it, it's crazy to see like what actually, makes the cut because there's so much. But I think the trailer was great. I think it's a weird season. It's definitely, while we were like filming it and hanging out, it felt so different. Like different from any other season.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, there's so many reasons. I just think like comfort level for like some of the newer girls in the friend group and just like evolution probably. So it felt like very different.
Are you excited for the season to come out?
I don't know. I never am. I don't know if I get nervous.
What's the feelings and emotions right now?
This season I felt like personally, I love working and I have so many things outside of the show. And there's things that I didn't do before, like when we were filming, I would just like cut everything off and then resume after we wrapped. And I think this year I was like very focused on like what makes me happy, like what I do extraneously. That's great. And like I'm not even in the first episode because I was working in Austin for South by. And for me, like that just felt different because I usually am like done, drop everything. And this season I was like, I need a little more balance. I think with Jack leaving and, like how it felt at home with just one child home, I just needed to like regroup personally. But I think that's one factor for me. But I also think depth and dimension from others and like, that I'm friends with on this. I think it's important that you have like more depth and dimension. And like, that's very important to me. Like evolution.
Yeah. How did it go down with the rest of the cast that you weren't a part of the first episode?
Have you guys seen it?
Not yet, but I did read about it right before this.
We did see there were some thoughts.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I think they took it as an opportunity if you had an issue with me to like share that, which, I've never done that to anyone. I feel like I like defend myself, but I'm like, I'm a Sag. I'm like, you can do whatever you want to do. And like, if it's affecting me, then I have an issue. But other than that, I don't really care. And I think it was interesting for me to watch it back and like, I'm like, wow, you guys like really took the opportunity to like have a little sesh without me. Yeah, there was, I think Heather, Meredith, and Whitney like definitely had my back on that situation, which felt nice because I've never had that. So I'm like, this is amazing. But it was crazy. It felt different.
So if you don't know, but I feel like almost everyone knows, but if you don't know, most people know that the reason why Lisa was not around was because she was negotiating her contract for more money with Bravo. And I'm not negating that she probably was doing something with Ben Affleck and Blake Lively. We know Lisa has hosted like Sundance parties, and Sundance is normally in Utah or in the surrounding like area and things of that nature. So I'm just like, she could be telling the truth that normally when it's time to film, she drops all other business ventures and focuses solely on the show, but decided because she wanted more money and she wanted to create more balance in her life that she was like, you know what, I'm not just going to solely focus on Bravo, which I don't think is a bad idea because nothing is ever guaranteed. So you should make sure that the businesses you already had before becoming a part of this show are okay. But let's get into the tea about the contract negotiations because I think I reported on this on one of the drama videos, but we can talk about it again. So Mary Cosby's fan page is the one that said that they put out the tea first. I don't remember seeing them put it out first, but I do remember a lot of people reporting on it. But I do want to get into what they had to say, okay? So this is what they say. They said, SLC News, since I was the original source for Lisa not being on the trip due to contract negotiations, let me explain. By the time of the trip, the women had already shot like 2 weeks worth of filming. Lisa filmed with Heather and Meredith, but missed out on a few small get togethers with the women before the trip. Allegedly, she held out on filming for the trip, which is in their contracts, because she was not pleased in what she was getting. Also, avoiding Whitney with something I heard as well. Now, I do not know if Lisa got her demands or not. Hashtag RHOSLC. And another person by the name of KTCX1234, they normally post about this information as well. They spoke about Lisa not being there, and they said this fun fact: Lisa Barlow isn't on the first cast trip of the season because she was still negotiating her contract. She wanted more money. I wonder if she got the raise she wanted, since eventually she ends up coming back. So I agree with KC. I do wonder if Lisa got what she was asking for because she came back to the show. I honestly don't have a problem with her renegotiating her contract. I told you guys, the three people that grew on me after season 5 were Lisa, Mary, and Angie. I've never had a fave when it comes to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But after watching season 4 and 5, those three ladies I actually enjoy a lot. And what I will say is that like I have no problem with the girls renegotiating their contract, especially the OGs. Like if you have been there since the beginning of the show, I do think at the 5-year mark, we should be renegotiating our contracts and getting more money out of the company. Like you giving them all of this information about your life, you have people ridiculing you. It's like, yeah, give me some more money. So I don't have a problem with that, especially when we've seen Lisa put in work. It would be different if, like, say, Bronwyn, and she just got here, or Brittany, and they both just got here, decided that they wanted to renegotiate their contracts. And it's like, girl, you only been here for a season, but they've been here for 5 seasons. Yeah, I would be like, yeah, I need more money. So I don't have a problem with her doing that. So continuing on with Lisa, I want to get into 2 interview clips. So Lisa sat down with the decider, and one of the questions she was asked was about Whitney and Bronwyn. So this was what was posted. It says, Lisa feels Whitney and Bronwyn are using her business and legal issues to distract from their own situations. Hashtag RHOSLC. So let me play that clip for you guys. Now, if you're wondering why Lisa is blinking a lot, it's because when I screen recorded the video, I forgot that I had watched a previous video of something else and I put it on 1.5 speed. And when I screen recorded, it was on 1.5 speed. So she's not tweaking or anything. It's just the video. Okay.
You know, you and Whitney have also kind of had your ups and downs. Toward the end of the episode, she opened up about having a failed business, but she kind of segued the conversation into wanting you to open up about your businesses and lean on the women.
And I'm not scared to admit it. And I think that's what I'm alluding to with Lisa, is if she would be a little more open, she'd probably find friendship where she can lean on and people can discuss the truth.
What did you think about that and everything that was said in that?
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I have the team I need to rely on, and that's my legal team. They Bronwyn brought up lawsuits that are over a decade old. It's not like I have 5 lawsuits right now. Yes, we've been sued. Yes, we own multiple businesses. Yes, that's a part of doing business. And we took it to a court of law and they were dismissed. So judge stamped on it. You'll see more of that this season. But for me to lean on anybody else other than a legal team, or to be like, oh my God, I wasn't worried about it. Like I say over and over again, like if I'm worried about something, I'll talk to you guys about it, but these aren't things I'm worried about. They're dismissed, they're done, they're gone, some in a matter of hours. And so for me, I'm like, I don't feel like this is a big deal. Why do you guys feel like it's a big deal? And I feel for Whitney and Bronwyn both, I feel like it was a distraction from their real situations and what they're going through. And instead of like, you want to be really honest, focus on yourself. I've never brought up their businesses in a negative way. I've never talked salaciously about them when it comes to what they're trying to create. I never get accolades for the things I do, like selling businesses, opening new ones. I have a great new lounge in Park City on Main Street. I've done a ton of really cool things in my life. And so trying to demean that by saying like, oh, Lisa's been sued. Yes, I've been sued. I'll probably be sued again. It's part of doing business. And I feel like the fact that they thought this was like some big boom or salacious thing was kind of gross.
Right.
And I'm like, what did you do there? Like, you know, remind everyone that they're dismissed, and that should be in everyone's legal vocabulary. Dismissed. It's a good thing. Just like an SEC.
I agree with Lisa. Bronwyn and Whitney only brought up the lawsuits, 1, because they don't like Lisa, but 2, Whitney wanted to deflect from her own situation with her failed business, and Bronwyn just wanted to get back at Lisa because Lisa exposed the fact that she never bought that $4 million necklace at the reunion. So I definitely agree with what she's saying. They only brought up my stuff because they wanted to deflect. So the next clip I want to play for you guys is this. The interviewer basically asked Lisa about Angie K comparing her to Jen Shaw on the premiere episode, but this is what was said. It says, Lisa Barlow responds to Angie K comparing her to Jen Shaw. The comment about me being like Jen Shaw is beneath me. I wouldn't even comment on that. She then clarifies why she compared Bronwyn to Jen Shaw. It was just the deviousness. It was the lies that I was referring to. Lisa also says Bronwyn stole a play from Monica's playbook. Hashtag RHOSLC. So let me play that for you guys.
There was a wild point in the conversation when Angie K compared you to Jen Shaw.
One might say it's similar to what Jen Shaw did.
What the are you spewing from your mouth, Angie K?
Wait, that was a bad analogy.
And Bronwyn kind of co-signed it by reminding everyone that you had compared her to Jen Shaw last year in a tweet. What's your response to all of that?
Well, the comment about me being like Jen Shaw is like even beneath me. I wouldn't even comment on that. But and me calling Bronwyn that, it was just the deviousness. It was the lies that I was referring to. And I felt like with Jen, when it wasn't a legal thing, she was like brutally honest about herself, other than a legal situation. And so, you know, Bronwyn was being shady. And I felt like, you know, like I've seen that behavior before in it. You know, that's my comparison.
Right.
I mean, she flat out lied.
She admitted it too in the season premiere. She said she lied because she, you know, wanted to fit in with the cool girls.
I don't think that's true. I think she stole a play from Monica's playbook when Monica bought she actually bought the Louis Vuitton bag and then said she was doing it to fit in. I mean, if Bronwyn wants to go with that narrative, she can explain her Instagram and, you know, a plethora of other things on how she's trying to impress not just us, but like everybody. So I thought that was like a cop out. Like, I think it would have been better if she just said, I lied to Andy Cohen's face, your face, Nick Viall Files when I said it's a dick measuring competition, to say I bought the necklace. And the big thing there was I introduced her to the jeweler. So when she put the jeweler in the precarious situation she did, the jeweler came to me and was like, what do? I don't want to affect your relationship with Bronwyn. She was being like literally kid gloving the situation. And so I thought it was nasty what she did to the jeweler too.
So Angie's comparison of Lisa to Jen Shaw doesn't make sense. And Lisa's comparison of Bronwyn to Jen Shaw doesn't make sense. And the reason why I say that is like, nothing of what any of these women have done is criminal. It's not life altering in the sense of like you're disrupting and destroying people's lives the way that Jen Shaw did with her fraud scams. Like, that's not the same thing. Now, Lisa's comparison of Bronwyn and Monica makes way more sense to me because we did see Monica purchase a Gucci bag and she didn't have the money for it and try to like floss like she was that girl. And then we have Bronwyn doing something similar. She didn't purchase the diamond necklace, but she lied and said she did because she wanted to floss and flex in front of the ladies, ultimately looking like a fool. So that to me is a better comparison than Lisa comparing, Bronwyn to Jen Shaw. Just like Angie comparing Lisa to Jen Shaw didn't make sense, like Meredith pointed out in the episode. Nothing of what you guys are accusing Lisa of is criminal. She's not being sued by the state of Utah. She's not being gone after by the federal government. It's a false equivalent. It wasn't a good analogy. So continuing with Lisa, we got to get into this feud between her and Angie. So Angie is now like a brand ambassador to this new tequila brand, or maybe a tequila brand that's already been out there. And we know Lisa has Vita Tequila, and Lisa is not having it. She is over it. Well, Angie was on virtual reality TV promoting the brand, and I want to play that clip for you guys, but I also want to get into what Lisa had to say online. So let me play it.
I take Kodago everywhere I go. You want me to be a real shady? I am a shade assassin. I am known to be a shade assassin. It's part of my brand. Just like Kodago, the best brand, and it's not about who did it first, it's about who does it better.
Okay, tagline.
So Angie posted back in August, I want to say either the 28th or the 29th, that she is now partnering with Kodago Tequila. This is what she posted on her Instagram. It says, for tequila as smooth as my shade, I take Kodago everywhere I go. Available for everyone, everywhere, even in Greece. Opa. And so she puts hashtag Kodago partner, hashtag Hasta La Cruz, hashtag global, hashtag tequila rose. Now, Lisa saw this and she was not happy. And I remember her putting something in her Insta story, but I did not screenshot it. But basically what was in the video where they have it where it says Lisa saying obsessed with me, she was saying the same thing about like, you know, I did it first, or flattery is the best form of like love or something like that. Well, Lisa saw this video and she posted this in her Insta story. I make the best tequila so you don't have to be thirsty. And I'm like, okay, Lisa. And she posted up in her Insta story with her Vita tequila. Now, competition when it comes to brands is okay. It's actually really healthy. But I do understand her being like, girl, you know, this is my bread and butter. You could make like a cognac or, you know, what's it called? A vodka, some whiskey, brandy. You had to do tequila. So I can understand Lisa feeling some type of way. But like I said, competition is good for businesses. And girl, if your tequila is good, then I wouldn't even be worried about Kodagoy or whatever Angie got going on. I would just put more into my brand to let her know, girl, don't you ever try me again. But this is going to be funny because I know they're going to be arguing about this on the after show and definitely at the reunion. So continuing on, let's talk about Miss Angie, okay? So she was the first lady to be featured on Watch What Happens Live. The guest that she was with is Miss Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato looked good, okay? She looked real good. And basically, Angie was asked a couple of questions. So let me play that clip for you guys.
Here we go. First up on WWHL.tv, it was Lisa versus almost everyone tonight. I want to know, whose side are you on? Lisa's or Angie, Bronwyn, and Whitney's? Demi Lovato, whose side are you on?
Angie, Bronwyn, and Whitney.
You are?
I am.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Did you think the Jen Shah comment went too far?
Well, I think in real time I addressed it and said it was a bad analogy, bad joke. And, you know, there's been a lot of bad analogies on our show, but I admitted it and... yeah.
There you go. All right, the audience agrees with Demi there. Up next, did the women go too hard on Lisa behind her back? Yes or no? Demi Lovato, what do you think?
Oof. I don't, as I'm right here, I don't think they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
The audience, it looks like it is okay. The audience agrees with you on that one. Very good. Here comes our next poll on WWHL.tv. Did Bronwyn do a good job owning up to her necklace snafu? Yes or no? Angie K, you were there for the entire explanation. Did she land the plane there?
She did, yes.
She did.
Accountability.
Okay. Demi, you agree?
Yes, I agree.
The audience agrees too. All right. Very good. We know how Mary would vote in our next poll. Would you trust Angie to drive you in an RV? Yes or no? Demi, are you getting in the RV with Angie at the wheel?
Yeah, sure. She knows what she's doing.
Okay, audience, does she know what she's doing? No, they say. Angie K, you're not taking this crowd.
So I didn't agree with most of the polls. Go figure. The two polls where they brought up the ladies speaking badly about Lisa, like, was it too harsh? And the poll about whose side are you on, Lisa or Whitney, Bronwyn, and Angie's, I didn't agree because I felt like the first one, whose side are you on? I'm in the middle. Yes, I like Lisa, but that doesn't negate the fact that she has done things to hurt Angie, Bronwyn, and Whitney. So I understand them being frustrated with her. So I'm like, it's in the middle for me to a certain extent. When it comes to them saying, like, do you think the women went too harshly? I think they did because I felt like it was lame that they were all talking shit about this lady and she wasn't there. And I felt like they all got emboldened and empowered to do so because they weren't sure if Lisa was coming back to the show or not, because I'm pretty sure they all knew that she was in contract negotiations. But I'm just like, if y'all don't have the same amount of energy when you see her next, then I don't want to hear it. And I feel like especially Bronwyn is not going to have that. But we know that Angie can give it to Lisa. And we know Whitney can, but I'm like, are they going to water it down? And I feel like they are. I really do feel like they're going to water down like the way that they were talking so disparagingly about her. So I don't really respect it. I'm glad that Angie like admits that like her analogy about Jen Shah and Lisa didn't make sense because it didn't. But I also feel like Angie is feeling herself a little too much. And I told y'all, the three people that grew on me that I actually like are Angie, Lisa, and Mary on this show. But I think all of us saying how, you know, sharp and how, you know, Angie can go there with this cast. I think she's starting to feel like she really is a shade assassin. And I'm like, girl, on this cast, yes. But overall, no. You know, because when you call yourself a shade assassin, I'm like, can you go on any franchise and control the group? Can you go on any franchise and eat their best person up? And I don't think Angie can. And I'm comparing this to Atlanta and Potomac. I know for a fact if I took Kenya, Nene, Candy, girl, even Cynthia or a Phaedra and dropped them in SLC, they're reading the cast down. They're devouring everybody on SLC. And if I look at Potomac and I took Giselle, Karen, Candace, or Wendy, and even I might slightly say Ashley, because Ashley got some in her too, and drop them in SLC, they're devouring that cast. like the SLC girls wouldn't be able to keep up. So yes, Angie has, I think, the best shade on this cast to a certain extent, because I think Mary and Lisa are like neck and neck with her. It's just kind of like, yeah, girl, you're only that girl on this cast. You know what I mean? So moving on, let's talk about Miss Meredith. So Meredith did an interview with Gibson Johns, and he asked her, like, what set season 6 apart from all the previous seasons? And whatever she said, because I have not heard the entire clip, Heather actually responded because she felt like what Meredith was saying was a load of crap. And Meredith responded back to Heather. So we know they not good. But let's get into that.
Season 6 apart from your first 5 go-rounds?
I think what sets it apart for me is that I've been around the block several times now. I feel like every time I go around, I pick up some new information and learn some more about all the women and understand a little bit more about how they're wired and what some of the objectives may be. And, you know, it's like simple example is me and Lisa. Like, we had a falling out. I think that a lot of that falling out occurred because of things that were being said to us that weren't necessarily always true. And a lot of gas being poured on the fire. And it's like, when we came to real resolution, Lisa and I, we agree. We're like, we're not letting anyone do that again. And you'll see, people make a lot of attempts, you know, because I think they don't like us together. I think we're too strong together, you know, and it's too powerful. So, sorry.
Heather saw this clip and said 100% BS. And then Meredith responded back to her by saying, at Heather Gay, my thoughts don't need your approval. So Meredith and Heather are not good. I will say this. Whatever conversation Lisa and Meredith had, I don't know if it was an actual like I'm sorry conversation and I'll never do that again to you, or if it was really like an alliance conversation. Either way, they really hashed out whatever differences they had. And I will say, even last season 5, whenever the ladies tried to bring information to Meredith about Lisa, Meredith would tell Lisa and try to defend her and vice versa. And we even see in the premiere episode, Meredith defending Lisa while she's not there on the camp trip. So to me, it just feels like they really decided, look, we're not going to go back. We're only going to move forward. And I will say it's not 100% BS like Heather said, but the women do try to sow division between Lisa and Meredith. Like, I remember last season when they were at that basketball game, I think it was Angie and Whitney that they were trying to tell Meredith about something Lisa said to get her like riled up, talking about people putting rumors out there and stuff like that. And they tried to do the same thing to Lisa, but Lisa and Meredith weren't having it. So maybe they do not like the fact that they are really committed to being cool with each other. But hey, we'll see how things play out as the season continues on. So that's all I got for you guys. Oh, you know what? Miscellaneous news. It looks like Bronwyn and Whitney were at the Emmys, but I thought this was funny. A page by the name of Sutton Stroller said this: Whitney, Garcelle, Phaedra, and Paige Devereaux ghost from Christmas Future at the Emmys. And they were calling Bronwyn that. I do not like Bronwyn with long hair. She is very much a short hair kind of girl. It looks really pretty on her with short hair. Like, it's something about it brings out her features and things of that nature. But yeah, Whitney looked good, Phaedra looked good, Garcelle did, and even Bronwyn. I just wish she had a different hairstyle. But that's all I got for you guys. As always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in the comments below, and also be on the lookout for my review for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 6 Episode 1. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.